In the narrow lantern-lit streets of old Beijing, where shadows danced against red silk curtains and laughter echoed through the night, lived a boy named Liang. He was no older than 16, yet his eyes carried the weight of a life he never chose. Liang had not always belonged to the brothel. Once, he had been a farmer's son in a quiet village, where the air smelled of earth after rain and the nights were filled with the sound of crickets. But famine came like a silent thief, stealing crops, then hope, and finally, dignity. His father sold him to survive. That was the last time Liang ever saw his family. At the brothel, everything glittered on the surface. Silk robes, painted faces, music drifting through the halls. But behind the beauty was a harsh and unforgiving world. Liang was trained to entertain wealthy clients, to smile even when his heart resisted, to obey without question. He learned poetry, music, and etiquette, not for passion, but for survival. Every gesture was practiced, every word measured. Mistakes were not forgiven. What made it worse was the loneliness. Unlike the women who often formed bonds with one another, Liang stood in a strange place, neither fully accepted nor entirely understood. Some saw him as an object, others as something shameful. Few saw him as human. Nights were the hardest. When the lanterns dimmed and the laughter faded, silence would settle like a heavy fog. Liang would sit by the window, looking at the distant rooftops, wondering if somewhere out there, someone still remembered him. There were moments of kindness, rare but unforgettable. An old musician who taught him melodies without asking for anything in return. A servant girl who once slipped him a warm bun when he had gone hungry. These small acts became his treasures, fragile yet powerful. But the truth remained unchanging. Liang had no freedom. He could not leave. He could not choose his future. His life was controlled by others, measured in coins and contracts he never signed. Even his name, once spoken with love by his mother, was now just another part of his performance. And yet, deep inside, a quiet flame refused to die. He began to write. Secretly, at night, he filled scraps of paper with his thoughts, his memories, his dreams of a life beyond the brothel walls. In those words, he found something no one could take from him: a sense of self. Liang knew his reality might never change, but through his writing, he refused to disappear. Because in a world that treated him as invisible, telling his story was the only way to remain alive.